Hey everybody, Spider here once again, off script sports, being joined by Jesse, voice of the Cage Green. My man, how are you doing, brother?
Living the dream, Mario. Spider, this is a dream of mine to be here today. We've all got a lot going on, but to be here right now talking sports, talking combat sports on the Off Script podcast, I'd rather be nowhere else than right here with you, my man.
No, for sure, man. And of course, I am in San Antonio, man. You're coming to us via Houston. Is that
Yeah, I'm
correct?
in I'm in Houston. So the great city of Houston, known for a lot of things outside of great fighters. We're wanted to be known for great MMA content, great fighter content, and whenever you got two strong forces, when you're bringing two strong forces together, like you and myself, we've kind of got to bring it together. We may not
Oh,
all be in the
definitely, man.
same area, we may not all be in the same place, but one thing's for certain: we're gonna bring content. We're gonna meet you. We're gonna be here every week, and I'm happy to be here with you.
No, for sure, brother. And of course, man. This is one of many. Like you mentioned. We got a lot to catch up with, man. This one episode today is going to be a little perk, just diving into some of what's already happened. Just past weekend, man, alone. We had the UFC fight night that people were looking forward to, man. Of course, it happened in Tampa. I used to live in Florida myself for years. Tampa, we went to a few times, man, but it's a big city, man. Florida, for one thing, it's a retirement state. So when I got there, I realized there was nothing going on after 8 o'clock, bro.
Wow, no. So true story. I went my one time that I was in Disney World, because
Yeah,
people don't know. I'm gonna give you a fun fact right now. The difference between Disney World and Disneyland is the ORL in world and the LA in land. That's how you'll never know the difference. You're today years old when you found out that the difference between Disney World and Disneyland is
yeah.
the LA and the ORL. But yes, it shuts down. And I remember going out that night when I was hanging out in Orlando, and I was actually in Tampa. We were hanging out there, and when the city shut down, it shut down. I felt like I was just in old school Victoria or an old school small town, to where the city shuts down, like everything closes. And me being a city boy, hanging out, or sorry, now that I'm a city boy and being able just to be around people, I was like, oh, can't go get a drink. Gotta go drink in the hotel room. So caused an early night, the pool closed, there was nothing really going on
Oh yeah.
anywhere else. But yeah, they actually brought some great fights. They brought some great fights. They got some great fighters on the card. It was a good way for the UFC to go out, especially after the UFC 311. After that card, that card was fantastic. But to get right back into this fight night, everyone on this card was a banger. There were a lot of people on the card that may have should not even been on the card. I don't really want to delve into that right now, but to jump into like the card, when we were looking at the bouts, the bout that you and I talked about was the Miles Johns and Felipe Lima. We're looking at that 3 round decision, and that was 3 rounds of chaos,
No,
total
bro.
strikes. Yeah,
And Mouse Johns, man. Nickname El Chapo, man, for a reason. This guy's ruthless. He went through the LFA ranks, which, of course, you brought up a cool fact, man. He actually had a past opponent, that wasn't the same card as him, which that's what happens before, man. I always like seeing those, but he had fought Adrian Yanez, man, way back when for was it LFA or
yeah, LFA. So it looks like they fought in LFA 55 in 2018 back in Dallas for the bantamweight championship. It was vacant at the time. It looks like John's won split decision, which is a touted record. Whenever you kill down his record and you look like iron bar after iron bar, and he's beating
bro?
people with talent. The promotions that he's there. He's fought for XKO. He's fought for LFC. He's fought for LFA. He's been on the Contender Series. It was his main event UFC bout, where he came out. His first night was Cowboy with Gaethje. He was 10-0, where he
Yeah.
won Cole Smith. The guy doesn't. It didn't receive his first professional loss until 11 bouts in against a flying knee that was probably caught him off guard. Didn't really know what was going on when he got hit, but that was his only defeat. this guy Johns is something to be reckoned with. He's somebody to watch. He's somebody that people need to keep their eye on, just because of what he's bringing to the table. But this guy right here, you can't go wrong without talking about just the way the fight went. Total strikes. He may not have had landed the most strikes, may not have gotten the most takedowns, may not have gotten any sub attempts. But, at the end of the day, it's what happens.
Oh yeah, but he stayed busy though, and that's one of the things
Yeah.
that we've talked about before. Because I mean, you being case side, for a lot of these events, I mean, the judges, we never know what they're watching because of the angle or whatever they're doing. But if you take somebody down and you don't stay busy, and
Yeah.
the guy on his back is throwing shots and landing more, then of course, they're gonna give it to the guy that's doing more, staying more active, landing something. I mean,
I do get that, but being cage side and being that angle is everything, and because there's some things that you just don't see. But I mean, at the round of fight of just the dominance of what athletes have, what they're doing, I just wish the judges were like more could move around, right? They weren't stuck in that one spot. They're not stuck in that spot, standing only getting that one particular angle. We don't really know how good the R's are. We don't really. They're mainly older people. Not to say the older people don't really see well.
boxing judges, bro, boxing judges.
They all sit in the same spot. Everyone's looking at the same thing, and it's kind of odd, to say that action and
But
dirty boxing and what
you
wins
know what?
fights.
Like, with that being said, though, man, I mean, I actually had somebody working for the state years back that had told me that they're able to get up. They're like, man, they can't see, they can get up and look, but a lot of them don't. They just stay sitting down, and that's what they should.
I've never seen a judge get up. I've seen a judge stand up in the position that he was in,
Yeah.
and maybe take a left or right, but I've never seen one get up and walk around the cage for a better view. And I think that's something that could be implemented. Speaking of which, I actually was looking at this Tyson Fury fight coming up, and Usyk, they're fighting for the title, and they're actually going to introduce AI judging to sports. AI judging. I think that the AI, the problem, I think the problem with AI is that it may be, no conspiracy theories here at all, guys, I promise, but it could be manipulated, right? I can go in and program that computer to say that XYZ fighter's going to win, right? It doesn't matter what he does, XYZ fighter's going to win.
I know they're worried about these fake votes, for these electoral, elections, and now they're doing
absolutely
this combat sports, man.
But combat sports, but I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily a bad thing. Because it's not gonna, the AI can't judge ground control. Control is no longer gonna win.
Yeah, but you see, I grew up listening to punk rock music, right? And there's this band, and they used to have a song called "Computers Don't Blunder."
Yeah,
but they're man-made.
That is
so
true.
What that told me was that even they're saying, "Oh, this is the smartest thing," but they're man-made, bro. I mean, AI is just thoughts and concepts, from all sorts of walks of life, and because of that, it's like, what I mean. It makes you wonder because not everything's gonna be perfect, man. And with AI being, I mean, everybody's using it, when it comes to making movies, making songs. I mean, all sorts of stuff, dude. It's freaking mind blowing. It's crazy, scary, but it's not you. If I'm here and I'm like, hey, I'm a movie producer. I've made 100 movies using AI. Am I really a movie producer? You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I know I couldn't agree with you more. But I honestly believe, I don't think that if it's done right, which I think it could be done right until we start talking about money. When you start talking about Vegas, you start talking about odds. I think that AI could honestly, literally change the whole game, And in a sport like, BKFC, right? Or those combat sports where you're standing up and punches or everything. I see it in boxing in general. I see it being effective. It's going to know where it hit the body. It's going to know it hit the face. It's going to know who's the more aggressive fighter and all those. And it's gonna actually make the fight more interesting because you're gonna have to make contact.
Let me ask you this, because Dana White was going to be dropping some news. I wonder if he's doing the same thing. I wonder if he's going to implement.
With that, I honestly think he's going to implement a multi-card. He's going to have a trifecta. I think it's going to be slap box. It's going to be slap. It's going to be a UFC, and it's going to be the grappling,
Yeah.
all on the same card, on the same day, in the same event. Something
Let,
that's never been
let
done.
me let me ask you this because outside the country, man. I mean, out there with organizations like, well, not Pride anymore. I mean, of course, it's done. But I mean, when it comes to ONE FC, when it comes to Rise, when it comes to a lot of these promotions, a lot of them are doing that. They're doing, 4 ounce Muay Thai mixed in with MMA, mixed in with grappling, mixed in. The fact that he signed over some top grapplers from that promotion. I mean, now he's going to implement grappling, and I can see it, man. But I mean, it's for me, honestly, man, it's going to be like going to a concert and going through like 4 bands just to listen to that one band you want to go see.
No,
And not a lot of people want to do that, man.
I'm not sure. Well, they're asking, and let's be honest, we're asking grappler because the average UFC fan or the people that are going to go to these UFC events, they don't mind watching grappling events. The people that you're asking that are going to actually mind are the people that only want to see grappling. Does that make
Well,
sense?
yeah, but I mean,
An all-day event, like
like
imagine
if
that.
you if you go to these fights, I mean, like we have, like I mean, I've been in freaking tons of freaking regional promotions, man, and every time you always get those drunk people that just want to see a knockout.
Yeah.
And those people, I mean, compared to like the average Joe or the average fan, I mean, I would say it's like a 60-40. So like 40% are just people that just want to see people get their ass whooped, and because of that, I see them losing 40% of the fan base just because now it's like, okay, now we got to sit here and watch two people butt scooting, which I hope doesn't happen, bro. That's another one big thing when it comes to grappling. But I mean, we'll have to see, man. But I don't think I think they'll lose people, honestly, man, if they start doing that.
I mean, they don't. How many people really show up before the main card? Let's just be honest. Outside of people that go to the show, the bottom half of the ring, the bottom half of the cage does not get filled until the main card starts.
Right.
So we're looking at those casual and people that show up. Like I think, what was his name? Diego Lopez. Was it Diego Lopez that showed up he was he's watching the prelims.
Yeah.
And he was there for the first fight. Like he was in the weeds with the people, this star. And somebody who loves the sport. And I honestly believe the average fan, the fan that does not mind going, they're like, what more can I ask for? I've got a full day event. I can do this. I can do that. I can look to my right. There's going to be somebody getting slapped. I can look to my left. There's going to be an open mat. There's going to be a superior G guy, a superior person in the G, Matty Malgagiano, I think that's his name, right? But even him, like, he's talked so bad about, so poorly about in the community, just because he says he's not a team guy.
We'll see. I mean, I just say, and you're right, man, because when it comes to the big shows, I mean, the prelims, that's what they put them for free. They're on YouTube, they're on Facebook. I mean, they put them out there I think, I mean, for the UFC, I think they have like the second prelim. I don't even know what they call it, honestly, man, but they have the ones that go to ESPN Plus.
I saw that. So when I was actually wondering, I was so curious about that. I was like, there's a prelim? It's called the prelim or whatever. Like there's a prelim. I was like, oh shit, you got two things that are going on. But there's a prelim before the prelim, and that one started at 3:00.
Yeah.
So the event starts at 3, right? Run till 5.
Doors open,
and then we only get those 4 or 5 fights. There's 4 or 5 fights that we got going on the main card.
Yeah.
But it makes me think, and it makes me think that I think that whenever he says he's gonna announce something that hasn't been done, that's something that has been done.
Yeah.
But I just feel for those smaller promotions that are trying to do these grappling events, and then they start dealing with these professional contracts, and these professional contracts don't favor the small people.
No, I mean, and it is true, man, because for the most part, I mean, look at UFC Fight Pass. I mean, those are all the organizations that are feeder companies to the UFC, so they have those, and then you have the regional, which aren't in the UFC Fight Pass, and then from there you have whatever is left. I mean, not so much amateur, but just the promotions that maybe just do one show a year, 2 shows a year. But I mean, for those like for example, like Peak Fighting, they have their own internet, they have their own app, they have their own. And it's smart because I mean, they don't want to go through the whole UFC Fight Pass. They wanted to do their own thing. They do have traffic. I mean, of course, their shows I've been to like 3 of them, and
Yeah.
have always been great, man. Action packed, you know. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to the grappling, I mean, a lot of these promotions have been doing that. What, the past year and a half, 2 years, like grappling in the cage, for example.
Uh-huh.
I know Christopher Bubba Flores, you know, Professor. I mean, he's been you know, commentary out there at Tapper Scrap, man. I mean, he's been doing cash wrestling in the cage for over a year and a half, I believe, or 2 years, and
Yeah.
other you know, promotions follow suit. You know.
Well, no, but honestly, we look for those things, and it's only a matter of that these. Sorry, whenever you talk about these grappling events, the state's not making money off of it.
No.
If the state's not making money off of it, granted, I love everybody at the commission, Big Greg. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that's our timer. Boom. So we're gonna get into that's our
Lunchtime, man. Lunchtime. Let's go.
lunchtime. Lunchtime tells us that we need to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
We're trying to limit it on, but my final point is talking about roll right into the next one. We'll start that one. We'll go into this next fight. But more importantly is that whenever we talk about these grappling events, you have to understand that once the big people start getting involved, the state is gonna want to get involved.
Oh,
And when
yeah.
the state wants to get involved, we no longer go from a everybody can do it
Yeah.
to no one's doing it. Now, pay me my money. I need the commission there. I need this there. We're gonna get regulated on steroids. We're gonna get regulated on
Oh,
this.
yeah.
We're gonna do all these things, not necessarily say to make the sport that's gonna make it bad. It's gonna make it better. People are gonna have a little bit more rights. Fighters will get paid. Everybody will guarantee something. But the commission's gonna want to take their 10%. Right? You know what I mean? And that's what's keeping these promotions afloat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
I mean,
number
every
one.
penny counts.
Every penny counts, but I can't throw a $20,000 show
Yeah.
unless and it's hard to get $10,000 in sponsors and and not sell out at the door. And that's the platform, and that's what we've got to gain together and put together here in Texas. We've got to get together. If we all had one voice, one show, one rule, we'd be great. We'd be great. It'd put us in the next time. But we're gonna jump into this next fight. I think the second fight of the night that we wanted to get into was Adrian Yanez and Daniel Marcos, bantamweight bout. We just recently talked about Adrian Yanez and his bout with Miles Johns. But in this bout, we look at UFC veteran Adrian Yanez taking on a killer. I believe this killer was Daniel Marcos is undefeated. I think he was coming in at 18-0, if I really remember his record. I think his record was something
Oh, yeah,
serious.
18-0, man. I mean, the guy coming from
18-0.
from South America, bro.
And when I look at that, and I look at 18-0, the guy hadn't lost professional bout, probably didn't lose any amateurs. Adrian's coming in. Adrian reminds me of this Texas dog. The dogs that we have in Texas that don't care. Show up and fight. Show up and fight. I'm not here for my record. I'm not here for anything. I'm here to put food on my table. I'm here to take care of my kids. I'm here because I want to be here, and this is something that I love to do. And that's something that you cannot not respect. And right now, even in our little journey of what we had, we got dogs. The first dog that comes to my mind are the dogs that we got out at Monsters Den in Victoria, Texas. When I talk about those dogs, like those dogs don't care. They don't care whether it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. The guys are gonna be there ready to fight. On site. I think he calls us Johnny, if you're here, if you're listening, I promise you've got dogs in your corner. The one thing that I say is that anywhere, anytime, stand up, get knocked down. If they lose, they don't lose. They learn lessons, and learning those lessons are there. But Adrian Yanez reminds me of that guy. He's had a lot going on in the last few years. Recently, probably he's lost his coach. He had a baby. He's fighting 18-0. He's taking any fight that the UFC gives him. And when you look at the round one, I think that was the round that he won. I honestly believe that he was the aggressive fighter with total strikes. It was split down the middle, 29-30. It was a banger. There was no takedowns, no sub attempts. They're all signature strikes, baby. All signature strikes. His opponent had 29. I think Toko's, yeah, he had 29 significant strikes. Adrian came in at 24. But whenever you get down to it, it came down to that second and third round. But even in the second round,
Oh yeah,
numbers don't lie. 41 total strikes, 39 total strikes.
yeah.
I mean, the only thing Valium may have lost him that fight. Valium, that he threw more punches than his opponent did, but he landed two more. Nobody took anybody down. There were no sub attempts. They just stood up and fought.
It was like a boxing match with MMA gloves, bro.
There we go. It was a boxing match in it. And when you get into the third round, again, no takedowns. He had two. I'm sorry. He lost the third round for takedowns.
Yeah.
Because they got taken down twice. So control played a factor when control shouldn't have played a factor.
Yeah. True.
So the third round, you say you lost. The first and second round, we're there. We're here. We're trying to get it going. It's super important. I understand. I got you. See, look. All the time.
Man, is that Dana White calling that?
Dana's like, shut up, man. You guys gotta stop. You guys gotta keep it going. He's like, yeah, he's like, you guys gotta keep it going. Yeah, fight fans, we love talking fights, but we will get caught up all day in one. But we want to risk success in the Adrian Yanez. We want to risk success on the Daniel Marcos for giving us a nice bout, which leads us into going into the main card. I think we're jumping right into the main card, which was not a bad card. I honestly believe that Cub Swanson and Cub, Cub's one of those guys that's been around so long. Man. Cub's the guy that you look at him and you be like, man, whenever I want to build a fighter, when I'm building a fighter on UFC Fight Night, or when I'm building a fighter on the game, he's gonna have Cubs tattoos. He's gonna have Cubs heart. He's gonna be able to say that I want his name to be as cool as Cubs. But this happens. Father Time is undefeated. And when we get into this featherweight bout, what are your thoughts?
Man, Cub Swanson, like you said, man, that guy's a veteran, bro. I mean, his opponent out of New York, I mean, they're fighters, bro. I mean, of course, everybody shows up to fight and everybody shows up to win, but on this one, I mean, Cub Swanson with the experience, I always kind of question myself because of the experience. I mean, this guy's got like 44 bouts in, and bruised and battered over the years, but I mean, you can't deny that experience, man. I mean, this guy's been through a lot of fights, bro.
No, I honestly would. There's nothing else you can say, out that except for he just Father Time, man. Father Time. He didn't fight a bad fight. Numbers don't lie. I mean, the numbers here would literally told me if I picked up the numbers and I said that, looked at the total number of strikes, 114 to 108, 66% accuracy, 43% accuracy. Who won the fight? You're gonna tell me Cub Swanson every time.
Yeah.
You're not, and then say, all right, well, what happened in takedowns? There are 3 takedowns. None of them, either of them are significant, but we look at what happened in the round number 3, and you get into it, and he put a blitz on him, and that blitz, unfortunately, cost Cub the match. But I'm glad he didn't retire. I kind of want to see him fight a little bit more. But there's so many young dogs in MMA right now, there are so many that want to be at the doorstep that are just knocking. They're like, let me in, baby. I'm coming. And these old, and the old dog, he wants to bark. And he's like, man, I got it. And the old dog in him would have destroyed him. But then you look at him and he say, what more could you ask? You can't ask me for any more. I can only do so much. And that so much is just right here. And that's all I got for you, Papa. That's all I got for you. Yeah. And that young dog just keeps barking and barking and barking and barking. And I think that's why we got it, to where that it was just not a matter of time and if. But I honestly, I wouldn't mind even watching a UFC old man's league. Does that make sense? What do you think about that? The senior, they have the senior tour. So we can do the senior
they have
MMA guys.
That new promotion, man. It used to be the WFL. What is it? Global Fights now?
Yeah,
He
really.
picked up a lot of UFC veterans, man.
Man, I just want old people. I don't want you to fight anybody. Like once you hit 42, 40, you can go to old man's
The
league
senior
until like
division.
you're like 44, right? 40, 44. I don't want anybody with geriatrics out there doing. But I'm looking for that 40 to 44. Like you're officially a senior. I'll let you live the best of your 40 to 44. That way you
Oh
go
yeah,
out you go out making a little bit of money, and you don't gotta get your ass kicked. You kick another old man
yeah.
ass, and then you really, you'd be able to go into that without really having to worry about it. But yeah, I think the old man's tour would be good, uh, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But again, Cub, all my best to you, Cub. I really want to see more.
Yeah.
I can't say I want to see more from you because I've seen everything that you had. I've seen you fight a great career. But you did a great job. You took care of business. You handled that young cat the way you needed to handle the young cat. And I'm telling you, man, I think I want to see him fight a little bit more.
Let me ask you this: who would you want to see him fight next?
If I had to give Cub a fight, I wouldn't want to give him a top. I wouldn't want to give him a top 5 fight, but I would have to look at see. I would let's see. Let me see. By the way, uh,
Because at welterweight, I mean, I'm gonna put this out there, man. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Alex Morono
uh, mm,
at 170.
yeah. But
I mean,
I
I
just
personally,
think
I mean, that would be something. I mean, the way stylistically, man. I mean, Alex, bro. I mean, I've seen him fight a few times here in Texas, and I mean, that guy's a freaking barn burner, man. He just goes puts you through the ringer.
I know, but Cubs old. I kind of want to see him go out on a good path. I want to see him knock out. I mean, but you're actually right. How many more fights does he have left?
Yeah.
But is that gonna be a fight that Alex wants to have?
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, it works both
Yeah.
ways. I mean, but
Alex doesn't want that fight. Why does Alex not want that fight? Alex does not need that fight
no, not at all.
because that fight doesn't put him where
Yeah.
it doesn't give him anything he wants to be. Because let's just be honest, like who's gonna knock it? Who's gonna be Torpo?
Well, let me say this because I mean, Cubs wants him fight. What did he fight on the main card?
He fought on, yeah, he was the co-main.
Yeah. So I mean, so what does that say? I mean, he definitely he's up there. I mean, this is the fight night, of course. I mean, it's not a pay per view, but I can see Alex fighting a Cub in a main event per se
For
for UFC
featherweight.
Fight Night.
So tell me this. This is who we got in top 5. Tell me how many people you think he's beating. I'll start off with the number. Yeah, Rodriguez. Yes or no? Brian Ortega. We'll give him a top 6 fight. You fight Brian Ortega?
For a Cub,
Yeah.
I would
Talking about that
say.
featherweight. Would you give him that fight?
Oh yeah, I would.
Would you give him the fight to Yeah Rodriguez?
No,
All right. So Muvas Elovi. I think he's number 4-1. That guy's
You
3
see,
and he's got 19 and 0.
I mean, right now I wouldn't. But say if Cubs like on a 3-fight win streak, man, I mean, I would.
All right, Diego Lopez. No,
I definitely would. I would put. I
you
would
would
match
see
him.
him fight Diego?
Yeah, bro. I
You
like
give
Diego,
him
man.
so
I think
he would get the fight. He would fight Diego for a contender to fight Max to fight Volkov for to be a champion. That's just so many people that like it's just
well look at that whole Matt Serra versus GSP way back when, man. Happened where in Houston or Dallas or something, man. And
yeah.
Matt Serra was I mean, he was a great fighter, but I mean he wasn't in contention. He fought that opportunity. I mean, they gave him that opportunity to fight for the belt, and he did, and he won.
He wasn't in contention, but we didn't have that many dogs. Look how many dogs we got in the division. Like the home, there's literally he needs to like I give him let's see top 15 bout. I watch him fight Bryce Mitchell. Tell you what, beat
That would
Bryce
be
Mitchell,
good. Yes.
beat Bryce Mitchell. Then he go on. I mean, because like I said, I'm ready for Bryce to fight Aljamain to destroy him. I even said fight Calvin Cutter. Like we're talking about we're at number 10 right now. We're not even
Damn. Okay.
we're at 10. Like we got Volkov, Max, Diego, Masvidal, Yair, Brian, Arnold Allen, Josh Emmett, Sterling, Calvin Cotter, Lerone Murphy, and we're already at 12. Bryce Mitchell's at 13.
Oh,
Danny, because he can fight Danny. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
there's just so many in a stacked division to say that what it doesn't benefit, and it does not benefit him to go down because then you're still dealing with killers. You can't go down a bantamweight because you got Sean, you got Umar, you got Yan, you got all these fighters that are just that are hungry and that are like that's just it's crazy. Whenever you say that, right? When you look at it, you're like even Cejudo,
Well, yeah. I mean, no,
like
either which way,
Marlon
man.
Vera. There's no winner way Jose Aldo. That's why I was like, you come on, like we're not even in like, and he's definitely not gonna go down to flyweight. So I mean, but
Oh no.
it's there, but like because a bantamweight and featherweight, like what more? There's no more that I can get from him. Not a fighter that I would put him in front of that sees him as a fight. I mean, right now he could get into the top 15 by beating Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell's a dog.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all saw the dog that Bryce Mitchell
I
is.
would be interested in betting that. I would watch that. Bryce
I mean, I
Mitchell.
would watch it. I
I
would
like him too,
definitely
man. I
watch
mean,
it.
he's a freaking.
Yeah, and Bryce would take that fight because he's like I gotta pay my family and he's big old country boy. That might propel him, but he wants to get a fight in the top 10. He's looking for Aljamain. He's looking for Josh Emmett. He's looking for Calvin Cotter. He's looking to go.
No, yeah, yeah, no, yeah. Everybody, but I mean, what happens with the UFC too, man? A lot of times people think, people are dodging each other, man. A lot of times fighters are out. They're injured. They're not looking to fight. But I mean, a lot of times they got to match somebody up, and they got to go down. They got to bring somebody else in. It's happened before. Where top 10, nobody when the top 10 wants to fight, so they fight a top 15,
Oh
top
yeah,
15 guy.
but the fighters got to accept the fight. Both fighters got to do it. Guys, we're gonna jump actually right into the last card of the main event. Colby Covington and Joaquin Buckley.
Oh man, I wasn't surprised with the end result, man. I mean, if anything, I saw Buckley winning by TKO, man, on this one, but he got the cut, got the TKO. Was it? It was a
rough stop.
Right?
I mean, he stopped it because of the cut, so it was a TKO.
Yeah, you see, but I mean,
doctor stoppage. Sorry, doctor stoppage. Let me get it. Doctor stopped the fight.
You see, but I had him winning.
Kobe I had him winning the whole fight. Kobe, I don't know what Kobe was watching. I don't know what he thought. He said he won out both rounds. He was the aggressor, which is clearly.
I think he had said in the post interview or whatever that he's just getting warmed up, man.
Warmed up to get his face split. I mean, his eye was about to come undone.
He was over bad. Yeah, you see,
he was piecing him up.
Yeah. No,
it was not.
Somebody had posted that somewhere. One of the UFC fighters had posted that he was still having flashbacks from Game Bread, man. That altercation.
I believe it. I promise you. But he's so. I don't even know what to think about him anymore. He's like that guy that talks too much, but talks so much. It doesn't back nothing up.
Well, I mean, look at who he brought in. I mean, he had Chael Sonnen with him, and Chael sold a lot of his fights. I mean, he was a good fighter as well, man. But I mean, he sold a lot of his fights from his mouth. He used to talk a lot, and people just wanted to punch him. So they were like, okay, well, let's match him up. I mean, make fights, and some he won, some he lost. But I mean, the fact that he had like Hulk Hogan with him, man, I was like, come on, brother. I don't know. Maybe he sponsored him with that new American beer or what, but that was too much.
I'm not sure. Hulk Hogan can fight his way out of paper bag. You know what I mean? Let's go. And Chael Sonnen, as your main coach, what are you really reaching for?
Yeah.
Like, he's not a coach. He was a hype boy.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't coach him in the corner. He's just being quiet.
Oh, yeah, dude.
You didn't tell him to do anything. So Kobe's out there getting two-piece the entire fight. Shots coming down the middle, and he's not watching them.
Bro.
That's a problem. It was boom, boom.
No,
It
yeah,
was the same punch. It was no different. He
he
took the
was
same
backing
punch and
them
said,
up.
"You're not gonna block it. Okay, you're not gonna block it. I'll keep throwing it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Boom. All right. You don't want to see it. You want to take me down? Oh, now you want to take me down. Sprawl. Get on the fence. Work your way back up. Get back
Oh
to your
yeah,
feet." And he was busted open at the first round. Like I don't think he. Yeah,
no,
he was already bleeding under his eye
no,
at the
yeah.
first round.
He was cut up, man. So they had an eye on his cut. I mean, I'm sure they were looking pretty strong. I mean, especially the referee who was able to see everything in there. So
He
kept an
took
eye on it.
81 punches.
Yeah.
It was 81
Nah, bro.
punches. How many of them put? Let me see the body. Let's see what this happened.
But let me ask you this, because I mean, of course, Buckley won. I mean, he asked the fans. What do you think about him asking the fans who they wanted to see him fight
I,
next? You think
I'm,
that
I'm ready for him to see.
was
Come on, I want to see Kamar fight. I want to see that fight.
you want to see the next one?
I want to see him fight Kamar Usman.
I I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess he wants to put him out. I think he could knock him out. I think he could take out, Usman.
So let's
But
do that. So he beat. Let's see, where is he at? Boom, boom, boom. He's at 6, right?
yeah,
So in front of him, Sean Bradley. I don't want to see that fight. Jack Della Madonna. I wouldn't mind seeing that fight. Kamar
yeah.
Usman. I'd give him a top 3 fight. And
I
if he
I
wants
should
that
run
top
it,
3
brother.
fight,
I mean,
I'd give him
yeah.
a fight against. I let him fight the Leon, and then when he beat Leon, I'd give him a title shot. But I honestly
Who do
think
you
that
think would have by the time
one
he
more
gets
time.
up there, man? Who do you think is gonna have the title?
Oh, Muhammad,
Oh
hands
yeah, same
down.
here.
He won't be putting a reason.
Yeah.
I don't think Leon will beat him because Leon
No,
is gonna have to kick him and
yeah.
like have some miraculous thing happen for him to win. Because Bilal is not gonna be stupid. He's gonna wrestle him and he's gonna take him to the ground.
No, yeah, he's brutal, man. He's a freaking grinder, bro. I mean,
Yeah. So
you know,
he's not
I mean,
he's not gonna
he's
put
that one
himself in a
fighter
situation.
you gotta submit or freaking knock out, dude.
Yep. And unfortunately, he's not gonna let him do that to him.
No, heck
All
no.
right. That brings us to our first break of the night, guys. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break. Grab some water, grab some beer, hang out. We'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick.
You got it, brother. Let me go ahead and go real quick. And of course, for those watching, we're gonna go out there real quick. We're gonna take a little break. Give me a second. Here we go. We are back.
All right.
Man, where'd you go? You went to a Whataburger or what's up, bro?
Yeah, I had to go grab some food, man. I was tired. I had to go to man. It was something serious, but we're back now. I think that the timer is kind of cool. I know you don't know it when it's on, but I set it for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, man, I can hear it.
Mhm.
So that works, bro. Believe me, I
Mhm.
I never thought about that, but yeah, I think that's smart because it'll give us that time frame to be able to come back on and keep moving with the conversation. So
Keep moving. Stop getting held up because we keep going. And one time we went for 10 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, yep, we need a timer. Yep, we need to get a timer in there." All right. So this next half, what do we want to get to?
we're gonna jump over for the next BKFC event coming up, which is gonna be December 21st in Hollywood, Florida, man. Everything's happening in
Okay.
Florida. What's up with that?
BKFC, Florida. 282 KFC. No fucking KFC. BK. All right. There's an upcoming events. No.
And of course, I mean, I'll just plug this in. The last BKFC event, of course, happened last weekend. Uh, Texas fighter, Braxton Smith made his debut, ended up winning via TKO. So congratulations to him.
And then which one is that? 64? Like, am I not finding? I'm not, numbers work. It's
For
not
the
60.
BKFC, it's actually BKFC on DAZN, the network, but it's got it under December 21st. I don't know why they didn't number this one,
All
making
right.
things more complicated, man.
All right. Tell me about it. One versus it's Richmond. Oh, I like Richmond. Richmond with my
Yeah,
guys. I like Richmond. Richmond
bro.
fought the one black guy that I used to be. We were friends with on Facebook. He was all about it, and then he blew up and was turned into a fucking dickhead. But it was like,
Who is this?
what's that lightweight champion? The light heavyweight champion?
Oh
The
yeah,
guy,
his opponent, you mean?
no, not this guy. The black guy that used to be there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
The one
I
Rickman
know what you're
fought.
talking about.
So we're doing that. So I actually want to talk about Rickman. He's
Yeah,
a
actually happens to be the
he's a
main
club
event.
promoter. He does club promotion. He promotes he owns a like own what he's a general manager of a strip club.
Oh, nice. I
In
will say
Minneapolis.
this: I know a lot of. I mean, back in the day, a lot of the fighters were bouncers, bro. So they all worked at strip bars for the most part.
And he's a Marine. I'm trying to pull up I'm gonna pull up his bio real quick. He's actually probably a guy that we could bring on. He's actually really, really one of those most down to earth guys. Seems really down to earth. What was it? Lorenzo? Lorenzo, I think his name was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What is it? Lorenzo Hunt. There it is. What happened to that guy? Yeah, because he fought Lorenzo. He knocked Lorenzo out the first round and came back, and Lorenzo won the fight.
Oh yeah, I came back and took him out, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
actually
then
saw that one. I was watching
they
that one.
tried to make the fight for. They tried to make the rematch for 3 years. They tried to make the round for like 3 months. But Lorenzo wouldn't.
Damn.
Lorenzo went to heavyweight, and when he went to heavyweight, he he's a crazy crackhead dude. For real, because he went from. Let's see, I'll show you. He's fought. Don't get me wrong. He fights, but he fought Mike on 23, and then in September he fought Kamozoe for that was for the heavyweight title,
Yeah.
and then it looks like he lost to Mick Terrell. He lost the heavyweight belt to Mick Terrell.
They dethroned the juggernaut.
That wasn't a juggernaut. Shouldn't have been fighting fucking heavyweight. Come on, my guy.
Well, he's a small heavyweight, man, but yeah, he's a big dude nonetheless, bro. I mean, Hunt's a
dude,
fucking
just
beast.
still Hunt's a fucking look at this guy, bro. I mean, you can weigh in at 236, yeah, it's great. But at 249, like I came in
Yeah.
at 260,
Oh,
270. You
yeah.
came in at 238. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah. You see,
that's like that's not even no matter what you want to do, the dude's 6'3",
big boy,
270. You're 6 foot 230, 238.
like a small
And
running back, bro.
man, small run. There you go, man. Come on. You're 42 years
No,
old. Get out of town,
yeah,
man.
I'm not gonna say, man, he was up there too, man. But I think if anything, he was trying to depend too much on his speed, which
Which
but
is not good. Not good. I mean,
no,
light heavy.
no,
I really don't think that it'd been that bad. I just honestly think that he just should have stayed where he was.
yeah,
Fought Mike again, got the bag, and kept it going. But like now, you just. I mean, What more could he ask for him at this point? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Not much more you can ask for. And they vacated. I think this fight for him is for the light heavyweight title. They made him vacate the belt.
yeah,
Lost so bad, he vacated the belt.
yeah.
All right, so we'll talk about Rickman. I don't know anybody. Who else do I know on here? Anybody else you know?
Oh, well, on this
Uh,
one, it was going to be the main event and the co-main. I mean, of course, they're both going to be
women's
title
flyweight.
bouts.
I don't even
For
know.
the co-main, you got Christine Ferreira taking on. Let's see. Well, the Misfit, bro. I mean, she's on fire, man. She is the title holder. I mean, there's some bad blood going on. Her opponent saying she's going to be the one to take her out. So
Uh-huh.
it's still nobody's been able to do it, man. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Ferrer is the champion,
Yes,
and
the reigning champion.
Vincent is the reigning.
Been following her for a while, man. I've actually had her on social media. So I mean, she's always posting some great
Nice,
stuff, dude. Good
nice, nice,
person.
nice. Look like she hadn't lost early. She hadn't lost in 4 years, 5 years. 2019. 1, 2, 3. All right. Defeat, decision, December. Oh, they don't put like how they won the fight. They just put that they won the fight.
For
The
no, I
KFC.
mean they should have under TKO.
No, they got like they just put that
Oh,
she
you're
won.
right, man. I didn't even notice that. Well, I'll say this, man. A lot of Misfits fights have ended by TKO or KO, so that's safe to say.
Uh, and
The
it's only
past
two
few, I mean,
rounds. Women's fights only 2 rounds.
yeah.
All right, so women's fight 2 rounds. She throws average of 50 punches per fight. Oh, all right, we got that down. All right, and like 2 rounds. I don't really care about him. I'm gonna go Hunt. I don't really back it out. We're just and then these guys they gotta make. Do they have to make weight? I mean, they make weight, right? Like regular weight.
Oh yeah.
So
Yes,
everything.
sir.
This is about the
Different
commission.
weight classes, different.
Is it?
Yes,
Are
it
they
is.
the commission?
They're
Uh,
regulated everywhere except for Texas. I think there's like what 3 states that they can't have the event in or something like that. Don't quote
oh
me on
shit!
that, but I know Texas is one of them.
Texas would be one of them. Big Greg ain't giving shit to nobody. It's all Big Greg. Just total shithead, bro. He thinks this Big Greg is like the worst commissioner ever. Bro. I have no idea how he even got that job. Wait, was he ever a fighter?
Who's that?
Big Greg.
No, no, no. He's out there though. I mean,
No, I mean,
as long as I've been following combat sports, bro. I mean, he's always been the dude. So, I mean,
yeah,
you
because
know,
that doesn't mean. I mean, doesn't mean he's right for the job. He's just always been around, huh? I don't think Texas ever really took it
the
serious.
whole time, man. And I will say this because I don't work for nobody, but I mean, the commission's always been like the good old boy type thing, man. Where it's just in order to get along, you gotta play along type stuff, man. I mean,
No,
I don't know.
I I totally agree, but like it's one of those things that's kind of like even with the fines that Tapper Scrap got fines and then he cut the fines in half. Like, why fine me if you're gonna cut the fines in half? Like that's a mob mentality. That's a mob mentality. Like that's like it's not fair. Like if you find me, cool, you got it. Fine stays there. You didn't
I'm not
find
trying to.
fucking
I'm not
you
trying
didn't
to get
find
back, bro.
you know what I mean? You didn't find what's his name? You didn't find fucking Caesar for riding out in a goddamn 7A coupe and like he was walking out when he was walking out Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, yeah, and not to. I mean, but you know what though, man? For the most part, I think a few UFC fights, like on one, they had. I think it was Tito Ortiz that was had a beer or something, and like in the sound area, and they escorted him out, dude. Like they didn't give a shit, you know. They were like, man, you can't drink in here, man. Freaking told him to go
I mean,
outside. And,
they monitor what they want to monitor.
yeah,
They don't monitor. They're not. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I wish I knew more about the ins and outs, the pins and pulls, just to say that this is just the way it is because it's not. It's a it's a wild wild west, so to speak.
yeah.
Get
What
away with
Texas,
what I
right?
can get away with what I can get away with, and
And I'll
people
say
get
this, man. I had actually contemplated getting working for the state like years back. I mean, I was doing Texas fighting at the time, but turned out I couldn't do media and work for the state, so I was like,
you know.
nah, forget it.
No, I mean
I'll stick
I
with
get
media,
that.
bro.
Same thing, you know. I'm all about it, but it's like where do we get people from? B, like I get you got those Professor Joe Solis,
Yeah,
uh, you got those greats that come in, those great referees, those Nick Gonzalez's, those people that come in and they're coming in as professionals, they're taking over the game, but I don't know. Like one guy right now, he's like, I just had hip surgery. At our last show, had hip surgery, couldn't do this. I don't really see well, can't really hear well, but he's a judge. Yeah, oh man, he's my
they're
guy
like,
too. I
yeah,
love him.
fights behind you.
I think he's a great guy. Like I really do. I think he's an awesome person. He's like, man, I'm going to hell right now. And
Well,
then
I'll say this, bro, because the past 15 plus years, man, that I've been covering combat sports, man, I've been there through. I mean, so, before LFA was around, I was there from Texas Renegade back in the day. I was there with Texas Renegade One. I was, all these promotions, bro, and being cage side, ringside, you get to hear a lot of stuff, dude, and it's kind of scary because some of these judges are people that are judging the fights don't know what the heck's going on, man. Hearing them talk,
no, they're
like,
not paying attention. Like they're not paying attention. They're trying to get a fucking hot dog. They're worried about where they got to go tomorrow. Talk to the other. I'm talking to judges. I'm even talking to referees, and they're like, I got to go to Amarillo tomorrow, or I got to go to Belmont tomorrow. I got to go.
trying to hurry
I
up.
got to leave out of here, and I got to get here, and I got to get there. I'm like, yeah, he's like, that's how I get paid. They pay for the gas, they'll pay this, but I got to be there tomorrow. Like they don't know where they're going, and it's really crazy because Big Greg makes all the assignments. He
Yeah,
can assign people to where he wants to assign people. He can assign judges to where he wants to assign judges. And we're not recording, so it didn't matter. But even with what's his name, you wouldn't believe, but Eric is on the board. Eric Garcia is on the board.
hold on. Where you at? Hold on. I think I lost you. Hold on.
Right here, that should be good,
Okay,
man.
okay. No, and I was gonna say we have been recording, bro.
Oh no, you're good. No, I'm not worried about that. I'm just saying in general. Like Eric's on the board. What's Eric gonna do? Not hire me for a show? Like,
Oh
he's on.
no, dude. But I've heard that before, man. I mean, dude. I'll say this, man. I know a lot, and I've heard a lot, and I've talked to a lot of people, and it's just, some of the stuff that goes out there, bro, is wild, dude. And I mean, I don't work for nobody, whether or not they allow me to go cage side or do whatever. That's on them. But I mean, I'm gonna cover what I want, dude. I mean, if I'm not allowed in the promotion, I'm gonna watch it on TV or watch it somewhere and still break it down.
Still break it down. There's nothing
Yeah.
way going around it, and there's not much we can move forward with.
No.
But I think that's great. So we'll jump into BKFC. We'll talk about Rowan versus Rickman. We'll go into the co-main, and then we still
Christine
need to.
Perea
I
taking
hate
on
that. I hate that I'm not going to be at this first PFL event in January in San Antonio. I'm not going to make it back from Canada. kind of
Yeah, you were
sucks.
talking about that.
Yeah,
Going to
we're
Canada,
gonna
bro.
talk about that one, but I can't get back. I can't get back to the stateside until 6 o'clock that night.
Ooh,
So the show starts at 3. So I'm not gonna make that show.
stream
Really,
it, bro. Stream it. You can watch it
I'm
on your phone.
man. I want to be there. You know me. I'm the announcer, bro. I'm the
Yeah.
voice. I'm supposed to be inside, but I've like got one of my cousins turned 50. His birthday party is that night, and they're like, the whole reason why we asked you to come to Canada was to be here for this night.
Man, I got your boy just dropped a message, bro.
Who's
I think he's
that?
talking about you, man.
Who?
Peter Morales, bro. You didn't see the message up here?
No, where's it at?
I'll put it up top. It's in front of the screen on the bottom.
Man, I'm not even looking at Facebook.
No, it's on the stream. It's actually on the link, so you should be able to see it. But he left you a little message. I guess he sees two of
Oh,
you.
oh. Well, Peter, I love you. I know you're the prettiest person in show business, baby. But I'm there. I'm gonna got a suit on, but we're there.
I think it's the lighting, bro. He's not that good looking, but the lighting always does him well. So that's good for him, man.
Nah, the lighting does amazing things, man. Peter does an amazing job, man. I love Peter. Peter's my guy. We go back like shit pack. I had did his first show, done all the shows. Tapper Scrap is in my heart. Uh, PFL, the Professional Fighting League, is something that we're passionate about. Something that Peter and Jacob both are passionate about and both want to bring, and which we were talking about in our first segment.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about the importance of, and we'll go start the timer. We'll go into that one right now, just to jump into it, just to talk about the things that we're bringing to MMA, and that Tapper Scrap are bringing to MMA. It's a beauty to have people on that want to do great things. It's a beauty to have a promotion that wants to do great things for every single body in the country, not just people in their area, not just people in the region, uh, not just people. Like, it's just for the fighters. When you get into this first PFL event, we're looking January 19th, San Antonio, Texas, at the House of Jiu-Jitsu. Those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful facility, a beautiful place to have people there. Just a great thing to start going on. And when you look at that first PFL, that first PGL event, uh, if you're interested in getting into it, fighters, we do encourage you to go to pgltexas.com. You can follow the link. You can click to Peter Morales, go to his page, go to Jacob's page. You can actually go to pgltexas.com. Again, that's pgltexas.com, the Professional Grappling League sign up. These events are truly something that's going to change the landscape in Texas. I just clicked on the link. It's really easy. Ask you a few questions. You can apply, and you're actually making a difference when I'm live against there. The journey from there, we'll be able to bring Peter on pretty soon. Hopefully, get him on one of the next shows just to talk about just the area that PGL is going, just the direction and trajectory. They've already got a banger, Michael Bannock versus
Yeah.
Ramon. I've gotten a chance to set the stage for mayhem for these guys, and it's extremely, extremely humbling to see these two get together. I mean, Ramon, I've seen him five out of his 6 fights.
Yeah,
Michael Bannock, we've all seen him in the Tapper Scrap cage.
bro.
Most recently at Tapper Scrap 10. He's a dog. There's not much more about it. He's a dog. Whether he wants to be wrestled, whether he wants it to be G, whether he wants to be no G, the guy has it in him. And Ramon is that hungry guy. This is definitely a fight that you don't want to miss. Tickets are on sale now, or pretty soon, at the House of Jiu-Jitsu, 823 South Laredo Street in San Antonio, Texas. Make some noise. San Antonio. PGL is on its way. As the card progresses, we'll be able to bring you more insight onto that card.
Yeah,
But ladies and gentlemen, I think that I honestly believe that PGL is going to take it to the next level. PGL is focused on fighters. Let's focus on not fighters. I'm sorry,
Competitors.
competitors, on grapplers, TDLR. You listen to everything. So we're talking about grapplers. We're talking about submission artists. There will be no punches thrown.
There
There will
you
be no punches thrown, but there will be exciting grappling matches, exciting competitors. Again, if you're interested, pgl.com. Go ahead and sign up. Sign up. I would love to set the stage for Mayhem. I would love to set the stage for you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. PGL proudly presents PGL1 live at the House of Jiu-Jitsu in San Antonio, Texas. Let's go. Fight fans. Oh, before I go on one,
go,
we're going to jump. We're going to have to switch subjects. We're going to switch subjects up a little bit and jump right into that BKFC live event coming up December 21st. Warren versus Rickman for the light heavyweight championship of the world. We're going to start with the co-main event, Ferreira versus Vincent. I know as we did our pre-production, we were talking, and you told me, you Spider, you were like, man, I'm really high on the champ. Tell me about the champ.
Man, she found her groove, man. I mean, she was in the Ultimate Fighter house for one of the seasons, of course, but MMA wasn't for her. I mean, the fact that she found bare knuckle when she made it home, and she's dominated ever since, man. So I'm glad. I mean, I'm not glad, but I'm happy that she was able to find that, you know, because it's not for everybody. Same thing with boxing. A lot of times, or bare knuckle boxing, a lot of times these guys go to MMA and they prefer it. You know, it's not their forte or it doesn't work for them. But that's just hers, man. I mean, she's set the pace and she's the one to beat.
When you say the one to beat, I like to I use the word dogs too much in this thing, but dogs is actually a really good word
Oh
that
yeah,
I want to use when I talk about dogs. But when I talk about the dogs, I'm talking about that dog that doesn't leave the porch because he
yeah,
knows he owns the porch.
yeah.
And whenever you were talking about this champion, Fair and her commitment to the game, you say she walks down everybody. She
Yeah.
walks down all of her fighters. She's truly a world champion. And when
Oh
you
yeah.
look at world champions, when I look at her picture, I'm looking at a champ.
Yeah.
I would, it may be the gold chains, could be the neck tattoo, could be the all black attire, could be just the utter jawline that she has. It's just chiseled like nobody's business. But I'll also go into her last fights, and I'm like, when has she lost? She lost, I think, her third pro fight, and then after that, she hadn't done anything but win, 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 and go to
Yeah.
church. And
Oh yeah.
that's something that's hard to find. With a woman, I mean, she's not, the youngest chicken in the stock, and it is women's MMA. However, but she is not looking like she's going anywhere from anytime
No, not
soon.
at all, man.
You know,
And I think
she,
one of the things that I like about having followed her for years, man, and on social media, is that I mean she evolved. She had to change her training. She had to change. I mean everything from because of bare knuckle. It wasn't like a full body workout, but I mean she conditioning wise she trains like a boxer. Strength wise, conditioning. She trains for BKFC, man, and
mhm.
it's a whole different animal. And I think that's something that others need to do because you can't just go into bare knuckle from MMA and think, oh, okay, well, it's just hitting knuckle. No, man. I mean, you got to condition those. You got to condition your hands.
Yeah, the
Condition your
hands and the
body.
knuckles. But I was actually talking to one of a few friends of mine. I think we were talking about how bare knuckle is actually probably more better for the body than boxing or any of those other combat sports because you're not getting hit. You're getting hit with a fist.
Yeah,
Body's gonna react. Body's just gonna react, get knocked out, keep it moving.
yeah.
But to speak more about the champion and her drive and go, but like I just think that she may be just ahead of her time.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I think that she could be a pioneer of the sport and people would respect her a little bit more. But you look at her opponent, she's coming in, she's 3-0.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, looks could be deceiving, and looks would tell me that Ferreira's going to go in there and handle business. But 3-0 and 9-1, it's hard to root against the champ. Hard to root against the champ. Hard to see it going any other way. Hard to see this bout not getting finished. I think on our last show we were talking about the last BKFC event where we saw the 3-second knockout, and that was just the guy that just stood there, got popped, dropped. It was
bro.
like pop, block, and drop it. And that guy went down. And when he went down, I was like, it's fake. There's no way this is real. I think the bell rang, think pop. Right? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm still trying to have
You
my
see, I wonder what AI would have done about that one, man.
I think AI would have
Even
said I
they
shouldn't have
haven't
been
even
in the
recorded
ring.
it, man.
They would have fined BKFC for even putting me in the ring. Cause I don't know. Like, even when I saw the highlight, I think I saw the highlight. I didn't see the highlight knowing that it was BKFC. I just thought it was just a knockout that was just randomly shown on ESPN. And when that knockout showed up, I was like, what the hell? What did I just watch? This guy just stood there. Who commissioned this fight? Who let this guy get in the ring? Knowing and after talking to you about it, you're like, man, yeah, he was actually pretty
Pretty
bad.
experienced,
He
man.
was actually he didn't have anything. Like he was good to go. And I was like, oh,
He just got caught, dude. But yeah, that's one of
uh,
those like rookie mistakes, bro. Like he just stood there and boop, got popped.
again, when you say just got caught, it's a difference between ding ding ding. Ugh. He dropped his hands and got popped. And he's like, hit me. I dare you to hit me. I dare you to hit me. And he hit him. Anyways, but I'm not gonna hold that against the UFC. We are going to get to the next one. We're going to jump right into our championship bout on BKFC DAZN Hollywood, 7 p.m. Central Time on the DAZN Network. We're going to go into the championship matchup, Warren versus Rickman. I'm actually really fond of this bout. Rickman, he's actually one of the most down to earth guys that we have available right now in the BKFC. You know, he's a former Marine. He recently fought Lorenzo for the title. He went on. The guy is amazing. Like everything about him is pure class act. But he's going to this batch to reclaim the light heavyweight championship bout against Warren, who I guess is maybe the current champion.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, Warren, again, one of those guys that comes in who says that I don't really care about losing. We look at his record, you know, he's got 2 losses. Josh Dyer on 20 in 2020. Then he lost another bout against Isaac Doolittle in 2022 in April. Rickman headlined that bout, go figure, right? So he's fighting Rickman and headlining with the event with Mike Rickman for the fight he's going to be defending when he's on a 3-fight win streak or 4-fight win streak. So it should be something to watch, something to look at. I'm actually going to go with the old man. Something about guys that run strip clubs that jumps out at me. Mike runs a strip club in St. Paul, Minnesota. Mike, if you ever hear me on the cast, know that I shouted out the club, baby. I promise you, if I'm ever in Minnesota, I'm going to come check you out. I appreciate you being there. I appreciate all the hard work that you did. I appreciate you serving our country. I appreciate you. And I know that you're going to be ready for this fight. The belt means a lot to you. And I know that your opponent, Jared Warren, better be ready for war. 7-2, Captain Deadpool versus the Marine. Both guys are of age. I think Warren's 41.
Yeah.
Rickman might be right around the same age. I think that if my memory serves me correct. No, he's actually 36. So the Marine is 36. Oh, cool. One in at 41. Jared Warren, the champion. Mike Rickman, what you got?
Man, I'm gonna say this because when it comes to experience, I mean, of course, you have gentlemen like the Marine, of course, like you stated earlier, Mike. He's actually fought in Bellator, man. He's actually fought in MMA extensively. Um, you know, Jordan Warren came from kickboxing through his amateur circuit, jumped into boxing and bare knuckle boxing. So I just, like you said, man, I think it's the Marines' turn, man. I think it's his time. I mean, this is another great opportunity for him to take that belt and take it back to that club he runs, man. Put it on his wall.
I totally get it. I believe when they go back to why he was, he's trying to get the belt back. I think his 2 losses came against Lorenzo Tate, which was a title fight.
Yeah.
And I believe his second loss was right behind that one, right after the Lorenzo Tate fight. He fought David Mundell at BKFC 47. He lost that one. So he's trying to find his own. He's trying to get back into that stable, especially with that fight, Lorenzo. Whenever you look back on that fight with Lorenzo, he was winning that fight. He knocked Lorenzo
Oh yeah,
down.
he
He
looked
stunned
good,
him.
man.
Lorenzo came back like he tends to do and took over in the third. I think it was the third round, if I'm not mistaken. What was the third round? I believe yeah, it was the third round where he came back and he took care of Mike. But it was one of those things that was kind of like, man, like this guy has what it takes. Doesn't never say die. He's a small guy. I
Yeah.
mean, all
Oh,
you
man.
5'7" tall general thugs out there, Mike Rickman's your guy. You know what I mean? Average guy's 5'9", Mike's 5'7". You know, he's not the longest guy. He's definitely he's maybe the younger guy right now. But I'm telling you, at 5'7", 185 pounds, he's bringing the work. Man, I mean, he's bringing the work. I like that. That he's a nice sized guy. But I wish you well, Mike. I wish the championship comes back. We would love to have you on the cast, Mike. If you're hearing this right now, if it ever gets out to you,
Let's
we're
do
reaching
it.
out. Mike, we love you. Boom. Right.
That is it, my man. Those are the two cards. I mean, of course, the grappling format, like you have stated. For the next one, I mean, of course, you're saying when's the next time you'll be able to jump back on?
I think we're gonna actually get jumped back on Tuesday. Tuesday, I'm gonna go live on Tuesday. We'll go live Tuesday. I'll set it up. We'll get it.
Done.
I'll be live in Atlanta. I think we'll be in the studio at home. But I'm excited. I'm excited about where we're going in the direction. Fans, if you want a fighter on, if you're looking to have fighters come on, send them our way. Let them know. Fighters, if you're that fighter, if you're that dog, and you want to come on the show, we would love to have you. We would love to talk to you. We would love to make moments with you to solidify your history.
Oh yeah.
Like you want to lock these things in for life. We want to be the person to do it. We want to be the people to do it. Fighters, don't forget PFL night 1, January 19th, 2024. Go sign up. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you one thing. If you've ever been at a TOS event, it's an event like no other. We try to make sure that we bring the best of the best, only show up, the best of the best, put on a show. And another thing we want to talk about, fighters, if you are looking to us live, we want to make sure you follow us on Instagram. I've got some really, really, really cool gifts that we're going to be giving
Oh
away pretty soon. For every 500 followers, we're looking at just growing. We're starting from one scratch. I care about the first follower more than I care about the last follower, just as much as I care about the last follower.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So we want to know that we're here for you. We want to grow. We want to see you win. We can't wait to get back at it.
No, no, definitely, man. And like you have stated, I mean, for those out there, man, we're gonna be giving away MMA training gloves, which are gonna be the heavier ounce, of course, and boxing gloves for those that do boxing. So for those following, every 500 on both platforms. I mean, once we hit those 500 marks from 500, 1,000, 1,005, we're going to be doing giveaways, man. So definitely send everybody out here. I mean, we are interested in talking to everybody and anybody, when it comes to the trainers, coaches, fighters, you name it. So hit us up.
Hit us up. My last thing, fighters, I've got a project that I'm holding dear to my heart. It's an insurance policy program. An
Yes.
insurance policy program that's going to help you pay for your medicals. It's going to help you get the coverage that you need. It's going to help provide for your family. I'm asking you right now, trust me, I want to put together a package that has the fighters at heart, has the fighters at heart, and has your protection and value, and it will protect you in the time you need it the most.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about it. If you want more information, message me on Facebook, JVC Green, Jesse, the voice of the cage. If you have any questions, I'm more than willing to answer those. I'm certified in selling insurance. I'm certified in making people happy. I'm certified in giving life insurance. I'm certified in helping you take financially control of your future. But I want to first start by giving you control of your medicals. Number one, you got to have medicals to fight in any state. You got to pay for them. I want to make sure that you have the coverage that you need to protect you. Let's log in. We'll talk about it more. Mario, it's great to have you here. It's a great place
Yeah,
to be.
brother.
look more from us. Mario and I are jumping at the gill because we were 30 minutes. We beat our target time by 30 minutes. It's amazing. Thank God for timers. Otherwise, we'd still be blabbering along. But we appreciate you. We look forward to the next one. Can't wait for episode 2.
Definitely. Everybody out there, of course, as always, Off Script Sports. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Jesse, voice of the Cage Green, my man. Always a pleasure. Everybody out there, till next time. Follow up.
Let's go.